Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we are going to be moving on to Game 4 of the 1985 World Series replay, doing the what if, and what if Vince Coleman didn't get hurt before that, or get run over by the electric tarp, or fall prey to the electric tarp, or whatever you want to call it. So right now the series stands 2-1. The Cardinals are ahead. Looking back at real life, this is where they were, and the Cardinals won Game 4. They were up 3-1 in this series before they fell apart and ended up losing the series 4-3. So, looking at the lineups, Kansas City is going to go with similar lineup: Smith, Wilson, Brett, White, Sundberg, Motley, Balboni, Biancalana, and Bud Black on the mound. San Diego State product, Bud Black. St. Louis is going to go with Coleman, McGee, and Herr. Clark, Cedeno's back in the lineup. Pendleton, Nieto is in, so something must have happened with Porter. I don't know. I didn't look that up, but Nieto's in for Porter. Smith, and then John Tudor back on the mound. Tudor with that 43 K3 Z3. One thing I was looking at, I was just kind of poking around and seeing, is one of those internet tangents I went on, and I was looking at Bud Black to see, did he actually, I thought he went to San Diego State, so I looked it up. And there is a website called thebaseballcube.com. And so it was kind of funny. I looked it up. Who were the Major League Baseball players or players that played at the same high school that I went with? Or went to. And it's not comprehensive. There's obviously some gaps. There's a player that I played in Little League that actually went to San Diego State. Was drafted and played 1 year in the minors in the Pioneer League. Harry Henderson, one of the best players I've ever played with. He was great. But then I saw that a player that I was playing adult softball with up here. So the guy that I've not seen hit a ball farther than this guy, he actually was drafted, played several years in the minors, and went to the same high school I did. He was just before my time. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, oh, wow, okay, well, yeah, that explains it. Those guys, those players, even though they were only minor leaguers and low-level minor leaguers, are still they're the best players that I've seen and played with. They're just so smooth and just really really good. So, anyways, tangent. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So the fatigue rating for Bud Black is an 18. John Tudor is a 17. With that said, we'll get started here. Lonnie Smith is going to lead off, and he will fly to right. 1 out. Willie Wilson will get a 44. I think I have to. Yep. 44 is a flyout. 2 down. George Brett will hit a home run. And okay, well, they're on the board early again for the visiting team. Brett homers. Oh, I don't need that. Brett homers to put the, oh, come on, to put the Royals up 1-0 here. Frank White will fly out. 1 run, 1 hit. So I did look. I do have the Kansas City Royals jersey. And like many things in my closet, it does not fit anymore. So I tried it on for this game and thought, nah, I don't think anyone wants to see me stuffed into a shirt. So took it off. I went with a blue shirt. So White gets out. That is the end of the top of the first. It is 1-0. Vince Coleman to lead off. He's going to go to the second column and get a 10. So that's just a single. Leadoff single. Willie McGee, 29. He's going to ground out. That's going to be a ground out runner to second. Coleman moves up. Runner on second. 1 out. Tom Herr is up. 8 and a base hit. So Herr singles and Coleman will score. So they tie it up just like that. 3 batters in. And we're tied at 1. Oops, not the second inning. They've scored, not the 10th inning either. They scored a run. Jack Clark, runner on first. 21, he strikes out. Still waiting for Clark to really, really break out. Hasn't done anything power-wise yet, really. 2 down. Cesar Cedeno, 21, 9. Holy base hit. Imagine playing that card all year long. That's incredible. Okay, base hit. First and second. 2 outs. Terry Pendleton up. 35-30. That's a fly out. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left on base. We go to the second. The score is 1-1. Jim Sundberg to lead off with a 7 and a base hit. So Sundberg singles. Runner on first, nobody out. Darryl Motley is up, and he homers. Okay, well, Kansas City is taking it to Tudor a little bit here. Not used to getting knocked around that much, but he's given up 2 home runs now in the first 2 innings. Kansas City's meaning to make this a series. Hit and 2 runs, 3-1. Steve Balboni, 45, is going to ground out, 1 out. Buddy Biancalana, 9 and a base hit. They're not backing down today. Bud Black will bunt, 64 on a sacrifice, will be a sack. Moves him to second, 2 outs. Runner on second for Lonnie Smith, who gets a 29. And that will be an error check that Tudor passes. That's a ground out. Oh, a strikeout. K3 strikeout. Okay, Smith strikes out. But 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left on base. And Kansas City leads 3-1 going into the bottom of the second. Tom Nieto with a 9. He grounds out. 1 out. Ozzie Smith. Error check 65-23. That's the pitcher. Grounds out. 2 down for John Tudor. 56-34. He will fly. He'll ground out. Okay. No runs, no hits. We go to the third. Willie Wilson to lead off. Strikes out. 1 out. George Brett grounds out. 2 down for Frank White. 24, he strikes out. No runs, no hits. 2 strikeouts in that inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Vince Coleman to lead off. 29, he grounds out. 1 out. Willie McGee. 64-9 is a single. Base hit for McGee. That's their 4th hit. Tom Herr. Fly out to right. 2 down for Jack Clark, and he strikes out again. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. Clark needs they're going to need to do something here. Need to get going. Jim Sundberg to lead off with a grounder to short. 1 out. Darryl Motley has homered. He strikes out. 2 down. Steve Balboni, 45, ground out. Tudor is settled into the game now. No runs, no hits. Cesar Cedeno, 26, is a ground out. 1 out. Terry Pendleton. Strikeout. 2 down. Tom Nieto, 35, 22, error check, 36, 22. That's the catcher. And that is a ground out. Looks like the Cardinals used all their runs in that 9-run outburst in Game 2. They haven't been able to get much going since then. 8, 9, 4, 7, 10, 11. Okay. Biancalana lead off, fly out, 1 out. Bud Black to hit. Strikes out. 2 down. Lonnie Smith, 34. And he strikes out as well. No runs, no hits. Again, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Smith to lead off. 23, error check, 15, center field. That is a fly out. 1 out. John Tudor to hit. 29 is a ground out. 2 down for Vince Coleman. He goes to the second column and a single with a stolen base. So Coleman keeps producing. Now they need to knock him in. Runner on second, 2 outs for Willie McGee. 7, who will. 7 is a single. Runner scores. Coleman now with 2 runs scored in the game. Hit, run. Runner on first, 2 outs for Tom Herr. 14, that's 2 balls. 54 is a fly to right. 1 run, 2 hits. It's 3-2 now. We got a ball game. We go to the 6th. Willie Wilson to lead off. 45, grounds out. 1 out. George Brett flies out. 2 down. Frank White, 24, he strikes out. Can Tudor keep him in it until they can tie it up? It's going to be close. Clark needs to do something here. He's going to walk to lead off. Okay, so he's on base. Runner on first, nobody out. Cesar Cedeno up. Big batter in the game right here, 35. So he pops up. 1 out. Needed that hit there. Terry Pendleton, 9 and a base hit. First and second. Black is approaching his fatigue number. 1 out. Tom Nieto, 8 and a base hit. That might be enough to score him. 8, single up short, 1 runner scores. Left fielder is an arm 2, so he does score, and the runner goes to second. So they tie it up on a single by Nieto. And that puts Black onto the brink of being removed here. Hit, run. 3-3. That's their 8th hit of the game. First and second, 1 out for Ozzie Smith. 22-8 and a base hit. So he will knock in Pendleton. And that is going to be all for Black. The Cardinals strike, get the lead back, and knock Bud Black out of the game. He goes 5 1/3, 9 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Big rally by the Cardinals. First and second, 1 out. Kansas City needs to go to the bullpen. They're going to turn to, they're behind now in the 6th, Joe Beckwith. Nope, timeout. Dog alert. Oh, I got 2 dogs in here. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I knew I had 1 dog in here. I had the quiet one in here. I didn't know I had the noisy one. So I just let them out. So that is good. Beckwith is in. His fatigue rating for this game will be an 8. Okay, Tudor is up. 1 out, first and second. He's going to bunt. 63, he's a bunt. 5, sack. 63 is a sacrifice. Losing to second and third. A chance to break this thing open with Coleman up. Second and third, 2 outs. And a 14 star, so he walks. So Coleman walks to load him up, to bring up the league MVP, Willie McGee. Again, a chance to really break it open. He pops up. So that was it. That could have been the game right there. They could have really put some damage on him. Actually, he strikes out. It's an error check. No, strikeout. Really could have done some damage, but they minimize it. 2 runs. 1, 2, 3 hits. 3 left on base. But that keeps Kansas City in the game here. I think if they would have scored a couple more, that might have been tough to come back from. 7 + 6, 13. Tudor's 13. Sundberg's going to lead off the top of the 7th. He goes to the second column, and a triple for Sundberg. Okay, they're going to answer right back here, it looks like. Runner on third. Infield's going to play back. Motley is up 25. Tom Herr is a range 2. It's a line out he holds. 1 out for Balboni. Still going to play deep. Strikes him out. 2 down. 2 down. Biancolana up. I'm going to pinch hit. This is a game situation here. Jamie Quirk's going to hit for Biancolana. I'm not going to go with the 180 hitter. I'm going to put in Quirk. Runner on third, 2 outs. And a 23-12. He flies out to right to get out of it. So a leadoff triple is stranded by Tudor. Well, that's a really good job. And they need a new shortstop, so that is it for him. Onyx Concepcion is going to come in to play short. Yeah. Okay, Concepcion. 31R3. Go to the bottom of the seventh. Again, both teams had a chance to do some serious damage there. That was a big run that Kansas City could have got. So, bottom of the seventh, Tom Hurd to lead off. 42 is a 9 and a base hit. Runner on first. Nobody out. Clark is up. Strikes out. 1 out. Cesar Cedeno, 25-11. That's a base hit and a stolen base. Hurd moves to third. Again, the Cardinals are knocking on the door. 2 out, or second and third. They're going to have to play the infield in. They can't allow another run. Second and third, 1 out. Pendleton up. Error check. 24 is the shortstop. That is going to be an error. Second and third, 18 in. Range 3. First on air, but the runners hold. So hard ground ball to Concepcion. He knocks it down. It gets away from him, but the runners aren't able to advance. So that loads him up. Bases loaded. 1 out. Tom Nieto is up. Hold on. Now I got the other dog barking at me. So I'll be right back. I have one dog that barks to get out and one that barks to get back in. So dog delay is over. 61, 36, 42 is the rare play. 36. Bases loaded. No, bases loaded. Bases loaded. That's not good. 36 is a wild pitch. So it's a fly out, but the wild pitch rating for Beckwith is a 3. He throws a wild pitch and the run scores. Runners all move up. Now it's second and third. 1 out. Infield is in again. 24. That's a fielder's choice. Runners out at the plate. So it works twice. Concepcion makes the play this time. 2 outs for Ozzie Smith. This will be the last batter for Beckwith. Error check again. 44. 18. They're deep. First and third. 18 is arranged 3, but he fails the error check. And another error. First on error, runners advance. So where are the runners? It was first and third. Pendleton scores. Runners advance 1 base. So they score again. 2 errors in the inning. I substitute Biancalana. Not that it mattered because he would have made the same errors. Substitute Biancalana for a pinch hitter. Concepcion comes in, obviously not warmed up, not ready to play, commits 2 errors, and it is now 6-3. Just checking. Yep. Okay. Okay, and that is it for Beckwith. He cannot go any further. He is now tired. I'm going to double switch. Motley's going to come out. I'm going to go to Sheridan in the outfield there. Sheridan will go into right. (24R2A1). The pitchers move up to the 6th spot. We are 2 outs in the 7th inning. Coming into pitch will be Steve Farr. Steve Farr will pitch for the Royals now. Kind of let down by the defense in this one. They had a couple of plays. One guy thrown out the plate. One guy stopped. But the 2 errors will do the damage. I actually got to mark those. And we go on. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Tudor is up. And he will fly out to center. But 2 more runs on 2 hits. 2 left on base. And we go to the 8th, and this is now some pretty deep trouble for Kansas City. Let me rotate the lineup through here because Sheridan is up. Ah, poop. Missed him. There he goes. Okay. 8 plus 7. He's at a 15. 5, 8, 15. Okay. Sheridan to lead off. 22-8. Flies out. 1 out. Lonnie Smith flies out. 2 down. And Willie Wilson will fly out to end the 8th. You can feel the air get let out of this game with those errors. That will be it for Tudor. He goes 8. He gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, no walks, 7 Ks. Top of the lineup for St. Louis. Bottom of the 8th, Coleman flies out, 1 out. Willie McGee with a base hit. That's actually their 11th hit. Tom Herr strikes out, 2 down. And Jack Clark, another error, check 16 is the shortstop. It's another error. Wow, he just got targeted here. First on error, runner to second. 3 errors in 2 innings for... Wow, okay. First and second. No, that's not an error on them. That is an error on them. Cesar Cedeno, 2 outs. 15 another base hit and a stolen base coming. Single, 1 run scores. Other the third. Batter steals second. And they have just taken apart Kansas City here late. Another run, 7-3. Second and third, 2 outs for Pendleton. He strikes out. 1 run on 2 hits. That is unearned. We go to the 9th. 7-3. St. Louis. Okay, the Cardinals are going to bring in Worrell to close this one out. With a day off tomorrow, it seems like that's safe. He can face 6 batters to face the middle of the lineup. Brett to lead off. 8 and a fly out. 1 out. Frank White grounds to short. 2 down for Jim Sundberg. Last chance, and he walks. They're down 4. He'll stay in. He's on normal anyways. And they do need a pinch hitter here. And that's going to be Orta. I did look back at the bad call, the Deckinger call. I think is Deckinger's name was the umpire. And they showed pictures of it. Orta was the batter in that when that happened. That was a horrible call. Runner on first, 2 outs. Orta's up and a base hit. First and second, they're still alive. For Balboni, they're down 4. Balboni, 44, first and second, is a fielder's choice, and that will end it. So that's the ball game. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base. And that's your final. St. Louis wins game 5, 7-3. The winning pitcher is Tudor. 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, no walks, 7 Ks. The loser, Bud Black. 5 1/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned. And Onyx Concepcion is another loser with 3 errors in 3 innings. 2 innings maybe. So that is it. St. Louis takes the lead 3-1, which is where we were in real life. The series now turned to The next game is in St. Louis. The turn to Kansas City's favor. They won the next three, so we'll see how this one plays out. I'm in that same spot, so anything that changes will come forward from here. So thanks for joining me. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. I will be back hopefully tomorrow with the next video for Game 5. So until then, you guys have a good afternoon.